Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Cristina Rodlo about No One Gets Out Alive, which is going to be available September 29th on Netflix, part of Netflix and Chills. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited to be here.
I love the film. It is so much fun. I find it very interesting because this is a horror film, but this is a horror film that obviously has other people in it, but there's a lot of moments in this horror film that it's just you. So I'm just curious from that perspective, what was it like doing a lot of those scenes where it was just about you in the house? I'm just curious about that experience.
Well, it was very difficult. It was very difficult because I had to imagine the whole thing. So, like you said, I'm pretty much the whole time by myself. And it was me and Santiago telling me, there's gonna be a monster, there's gonna be a ghost, there's gonna be a sound. So I had to imagine the whole thing. And as an actor, you're always like afraid of how is it gonna come out. And thank God it came out really well.
It's one of those things. The landscape for horror films right now is unbelievable. It's so big scale and everything. What was your mindset when you signed on to a project, knowing about, or maybe even not knowing about, how big horror films are right now?
I'm a huge fan of horror films, so I'm pretty aware. This is my second project in the US that is a horror thing. I did The Terror before, and so I was very excited. I mean, this is my first lead role on a film in Hollywood, so it was really excited for me to do this. And like the main thing was to talk a lot with Santiago and be on the same mindset and have everything very clear on how everything was going to play out. And I was just super excited to be. And then the pandemic happened, and we shot during the pandemic, so it was great times to be working.
It's
Honestly.
it's interesting as well because, like I said, there's a lot of scenes that it's just you, so there's not as much dialogue. There's obviously a lot of people that your character comes across in the film, but I'm just curious as well in terms of the preparation in regards to, this is a character that we learn a lot about just from scenes of you kind of getting in the house, going to work. Like I found that was interesting, right? Like you're saying a lot without basically saying anything. It's just scenes of you living your life. Do you know what I mean by that? Like that's interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very hard because obviously we never shot anything linear, so it was all over the place.
Yep.
We're shooting the ending, then we're shooting the beginning, and then the middle. Like everything was a mix. So it was having a lot of clarity.
Yep.
And what I do a lot as well is to create playlists for my characters.
Yep.
So that helps me to be on the same mindset as they are at that moment.
Mhm.
And so that helps me a lot. And again, talking a lot to Santiago and having very clear where my character is coming from at that moment on the scene, because it's very easy to forget where you are at the moment you're shooting the scene.
Yep.
So that was like one of the main things, to have clarity of where she's coming from, where she's going, at what time in the movie it's happening, that scene.
Yep.
So the people can connect to the feelings, that they don't get lost to what she's feeling at that moment.
And I really do, you really feel for your character in this film. Your character is really trying, and just a lot of speed bumps in the road. It's just like, oh no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's suffering a lot, and I mean that was the hope for sure, for people to be rooting for Amber,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, it's
So
Team Amber the whole time. Don't worry about that.
that's good. That's great. That's
Uh,
great to hear.
the landscape we talked about is big. It's going to be launching end of September, and people are going to be able to see it. And it's October is around the corner. Halloween. People watch a lot of horror films. It's going to drop on Netflix. 190 countries are going to be able to watch it right away. Are you prepared for all of that? Because it's going to be so quick and crazy, and people love horror films. And Netflix does an amazing job where they provide us with so many amazing horror films from a lot of different countries and everything as well. But have you thought about the global aspect of that? It's pretty amazing.
It is. It's really amazing. I haven't thought about it. It's just like I don't want to. I don't want to even think about it. Because you never know what's gonna happen, and obviously I'm so excited. I really want people to see it, and I think people are going to connect with the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like trying to focus one day at a time, and hopefully it does well and people like it. And like you said, it's about to be October. We all want to see, like, everyone wants to see a horror film in October. That's a thing. That's what we do.
I do one
Like,
every night. I do one every night in October.
one every night.
I do too. Like the weekends become at least one a night, 100%.
Like new ones or old
New
ones?
ones, old ones. There's so many amazing ones that come out. And there's some that maybe come out like 2018, 2019, that because there's so many slip through the cracks that maybe I haven't seen yet. Because there's so many amazing ones.
Yes, no, that's true.
But I'm telling you, this one's amazing. This is gonna be, it has to be on the heavy rotation for a lot of horror movie fans. And I'm gonna do my best to make that happen because it's so great. A little bit of like a slow burn. Did you realize that in the script as well, in terms of the development with Amber? A little bit of a slow burn in this film.
I think it changed a lot from what we shot. Like, it always happens. Like from what we shot, from what we had on the script, and then what it became, what the movie became after the editing room. So at the beginning, we didn't realize that it was a slow thing, a slow build for Amber. It felt like it went going right away. But then after seeing the film, then yes. But I think it works at the same time. So you start feeling for her. You start like wondering what's going to happen to her. You start caring about her. So I think it was a great idea.
Yeah.
However, we ended up editing.
And I want to add to that because, it's Calm Before the Storm. It's coming out soon. Have you thought about takeaways? Specifically, I want you to talk about what you're hoping they get out of it when they watch No One Gets Out Alive on Netflix. Like, what are you hoping they get out of it, takeaway-wise?
Well, for me, the main thing about doing any kind of work, like in the industry, it's like people are one person when they come in and they're a different person when they come out after seeing the film. I think that's the main thing about being an artist.
Yep.
And I think this film, it is a horror film. Yes, it is a horror film. But we do have a little moment of immigration, So
Yep.
I really hope people see it, and if they ended up caring so much about Amber, see Amber as the whole thing, as a every single immigrant in the world, not only in the States, in the whole world. So as much as they cared for me in the film, hopefully they care for me in the film, they after watching the film, they care about every single immigrant around the world.
100%. And like I said, it's difficult to do a lot of these interviews because I've seen the film and people are gonna get a chance to see it. I did mention that because I just want people to go in, like, I want people to go in fresh as well, because I feel like if you go in fresh and watch this film, it will hit a lot harder, I find, to be honest with you. So it's one of those things. I did need to ask too, what was it like working with Mark Menchaca on this film?
Oh my God. Amazing. We became such good friends. We love each other. And it was a pandemic, so we had like all the time we worked together. Like even when I was shooting every day, but like after shooting we would go and have dinner, and he's an amazing actor. It was honestly a dream come true to work with him. He's a great partner as well. He's there for you. He's like whatever you need, he's gonna be there. And it was great. It was great to work with him.
It's amazing. There's a lot of like it's one of those things where I feel like, do you find that those are the movies and the shows that are hitting hard now, where it's a horror film, there's a lot happening and everything, but just like a conversation between, like, they're gonna see like your character and Mark's character it's just a simple conversation, but it can give you like the chills to be like, whoa, like what's happening right now? Like I find that scary about horror films. Like it's not the big jump scare or the big like gore. It's more like, wow, he said that to her. That's weird. I'm freaking out.
That's great. I'm so excited that you liked it so much. Yes. I mean, definitely. I think that's a horror about, like, in life, like it's not, like you said, it's not about the jumping or the monster or the ghost. It's about human connections and how one human to another human can be as bad.
People are scary, right?
Yeah, people are more scary than ghosts, I think. We just need to see the world, and they're more.
But
scary.
if you talk to the cast and crew too, like this film has a lot of different scares in it. I think that's why I think it's very effective, because it it does have a lot of like the oh my god moments, but it has a lot of those moments I talked about with you and Mark and everything. Have you thought about that a little bit, where it has the traditional kind of aspects of a horror film, but it's also bringing in new elements as well? It's kind of a hybrid a little bit.
Like, you mean if I thought about it when I was shooting the film?
Like afterwards, if you talked about it about, like, it has a lot of traditional aspects of it, but in a lot of sense, it's different as well. And I think that's why I liked it so much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we talked about it. I don't think we did. I think I did with Santiago for sure, because he had a very clear idea of what he wanted with the film.
Yep.
So yeah, he didn't want the jump for the jump. You know, he wanted to create that. If we were gonna have a jump, it had to be a reason to have the jump.
Yeah.
You know, it was not like an easy sell. So yeah, me and Santiago, we talked about that, and but I didn't talk with the rest of the cast or crew.
You mentioned the Terror, you mentioned this project. After you wrap this project, and that's going to be another everything, does it excite you a little bit in terms of wanting to maybe work on another horror film? Like, does that come to mind at all?
No, I want to take a break of horror films. No more horror films for a while.
It's interesting. I wanted to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the show to talk about No One Gets Alive. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. And people don't miss out knowing it's out alive on the 29th.
It's great. You got to watch it. And where can people follow you on social media to keep update with everything?
Instagram at Cristina Rodlo and Twitter, Cristina Rodlo.
Amazing. This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, you're going to be able to catch Cristina Rodlo in No One Gets Out Alive on Netflix, September 29th. Until next time, this is Cristina and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.